Hey, what's up guys, it's Apollo Uchiha here, back with another part of What If Naruto Was Separated from His Family. Now this is going to be a half-hour long part, so yeah, because I'm still not feeling well. If you haven't, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. And without further ado, let's continue our story. Uzushio Gakure, Council Room. Report. Hi Uzukage-sama, the team that was sent to Takigakure has located the Nana Beach in Jinchuriki. They are now befriending the girl. They managed to enter the village and approach the girl with no problems at all. They told us to expect them back with her in about 3 to 5 days. Good. Any other news about possible allies? Uzukage asked the council. None yet, Uzukage-sama. We are still monitoring the minor nations, although we are considering allying with the grass country, one of them said. Uzukage-sama, we have also considered demon country, although it is at war at the moment. At war with whom? What country? Actually, they are at war with the demons that reside within their country. The current priestess, Miroku, has declared war against the demons king, Moryu, who's been freed once again. The Demon King has escaped his prison with the aid of some of his loyal followers by using some kind of dark medical jutsu. We believe that within 2 to 3 months, Morio will regain his full power and will be able to resurrect his ghost army. This is not good. With the ghost army resurrected, even the 5 great elemental nations will have trouble fighting them back. Uzukage-sama, if I may, what is this ghost army? The Ghost Army is Morio's personal army. These warriors are made of stone and are very hard to defeat. They can sustain very heavy amounts of damage and can regenerate if ever it loses a part. We can provide assistance with Morio's sealing. The last time he was sealed, the priestess had to sacrifice herself. We cannot let the current priestess Miroku sacrifice herself like her mother and die. The current war could be beneficial for us. If we are to provide assistance, Oni no Kuni will be grateful to us. We will be able to easily establish an alliance with them. Indeed, the Uzukage agreed. If I remember correctly, the current priestess have a daughter, right? Hi Uzukage-sama, the princess name is Shion. She's near Naruto-sama's age. I will deal with the matter with demon countries personally. I will bring my youngest son Naruto along with me. If I may ask, Uzukage-sama, why bring Naruto-sama with you? If I may faith in you, but don't you think he might get in the crossfire? Some of the council members asked. It would be great if the priestess daughter and my son develop a friendly relationship, so in the future, since Shion inherits her mother's position, our alliance with them would be secured. Also, I thank you for your concern with my son, but I believe he will be of great help when I come to Demon Country. You see, I intended on bringing Shion here in Uzukage for protection, while the war with the demons are ongoing. With Naruto along, the priestess will be easy to convince, bringing her daughter here. We understand your point, Uzukage-sama. That is indeed a great idea. Thank you. Are there any news from Yuki no Kuni, missing princess? We still have no leads, Uzukage-sama. I see. The team I planned on sending to the snow country has been formed. I simply am waiting for our spies to give us the green signal. Ushio Gakure's borders 2 days ago. 3 young men were near the shore opposite Uzushio Gakure. They happened to be on the location as they were looking for someone who could heal their master who was in coma. They looked to be only at around the age of 10 to 17, but were obviously not to be taken lightly as they were ambushed from Konohagakure. Torne-san, what is it? A young man with long auburn hair asked. He was wearing a light brown short kimono with a black sash, grey pants and shinobi sandals. His kimono was covered by his jacket and had his katana out. My bugs are going frantic. They sense a familiar demonic chakra coming from these islands opposite to ours. Torne replied as he held out his hand, while bugs swarmed frantically around him. This young man wore a black mask that covered his face and eyes. The skin that was only visible was his mouth and nose. This man was heavily clothed and wore purple gloves. He also wore a short jacket with red straps and carried a tanto on his back. Did your bug sense if this demonic chakra has a huge dick? A pale boy with black eyes and black hair asked. This young man was wearing a grey top with showing his stomach and grey pants that matched his shirt. Like his 2 companions, he was also wearing a jacket with red straps and carried a tanto on his back. The pale boy companion's red dropped. Man, what is this? Sighed Taicho with dicks. He couldn't be gay, could he? The two of them were currently thinking of the same thing. My box tells me they are not sure of the gender. Torne told his captain, Taicho, what are we going to do? We will investigate about it, if it has a penis or not. We will also try to capture it. They could turn out to be a weapon for Konoha. Danzo-sama will be pleased with us if this chakra is from a tail beast. Hi, the two replied. We will set up a camp for now. Prepare to move tomorrow morning. Torne-san, have your bug scout the area, Kin. The masked man nodded as he held out his arms, and 1,000 bugs came out from his inside of his clothes. The swarm immediately headed to the palace. Day later, same time while council meeting is occurring, Taicho, my bugs could feel the demonic chakra lingering around this island. The chakra is indeed from the tail beast. Taicho, I could see a road path ahead. Let's go. The three prepared to move but suddenly were surrounded by a dozen masked men. Each mask had the paint of a sea creature ahead. Arrest them. A masked man with a paint of a shark face pointed at the three unwanted visitors. The three readied themselves for a fight, but the leader of the group removed his mask, revealing purple eyes with ring patterns on it. The leader companions also did the same, revealing eyes the same as their leaders. Oh fuck, Torne said. We're fucking fucked. Fu agreed. The two watched nervously as they noticed their leader casually approaching the man who wore the shark mask. Everybody's eyes nearly popped from their heads as the pale boy fondled with the leader's crotch. What the hell are you doing? The man said, feeling molested. I'm trying to feel you. You have a long dick, like my two comrades here. I'm impressed, Sai commented. Oi, what are you doing? I said arrest them! Four storms surrounded each of the strangers and apprehended them. Sai also tried to fondle with the other three private parts as he was surrounded. He managed to feel all four before he lost consciousness. I think I'm going to need therapy after this, the leader muttered while the other three agreed. Let's go back to the base. Uzumaki Storm Headquarters. Kaide-sama, we found these three lurking around our borders. These guys are from Konoha, the Storm Commander commented as he saw the three Hitates. I believe they are from Danzo's root organization. They are from another Anbu division. Bring them to the interrogation chambers. Hi, shark, squid, octopus, marlin. What happened to you four? You look shaken. Those three couldn't have possibly done something to you, have they? The four were speechless as their face went red in embarrassment and anger. Kaide-sama, the pale boy fondled with their crouches and felt their size before they knocked him unconscious. One of the 12 said as he looked at the four companions, feeling sorry for them. This one was wearing a whale mask. What? The whale mask Storm then told his comrade the exact story. That's totally outrageous. I never thought Danzo would have gay members among his little fan club. The Storm Commander commented. I need to inform the Uzumaki about this. Three immediately send out more people near around our borders and check if there are more of them. They might have another companions waiting for them. Hi. This is bad. Has Kona found out about us yet? He thought as he dashed off to the council room. The council was just finished discussing about Yuki no Kuni when they heard a knock on the door. The door opened and revealed the Storm Commander with a grin expression. Uzumaki-sama, please excuse my intrusion, but my men have found three Konoha Anbu root members lurking around our border. They are now being held at the interrogation chambers. Needless to state, there were a loud murmuring among the council chambers. This council meeting is dismissed. Kaide, order all your men to scatter around the island and check for another unwanted guests. If there are any, quickly disable them and prevent a long-term battle. Bring them to the interrogation chambers immediately. Also notify all the Jonis and putting the village under alert level 1. The Storm Commander nodded and proceeded to go to the HQ to notify all Storm. The Uzumaki hurried to the interrogation chambers while the rest of the council went off to their own compounds to inform their clansmen of the current situation. Uzumaki Mansion, private beach and training grounds. Meanwhile, Naruto was currently alone, staring at the sea. His siblings watched him sadly from a distance. They tried to convince him to go out with them, to hang out and have a sibling bonding, but he refused to go outside the mansion in fear of the villagers hating him for transforming into the QB 2 days ago. Good morning, guys. How are you doing? Oh, good morning, Konan-chan. The four replied as they turned to see Konan, Yahiko and Nagato smiling and waving at them. How's Naruto-kun? I haven't seen him out for days. Konan asked worriedly. He's there. He refuses to go out as he is worried about the villagers We already told him not to because the villagers did not hold any grudge against him for transforming into QB. We told him that we all understood what happened to him and what caused him to rampage, but he is still skeptical. Narumi sadly replied, I see. Mind if we talk to him? We wanted to bond with him and teach him a few things before we leave our mission to Amigakure. Also, I have something in mind that might cheer him up and forget about the incident. Yeah, sure, thanks. We'll be inside the mansion. See you guys later. The four trudged back to the mansion while the three Akatsuki leaders remained. Conan raised her arms and about 30 square paper floated from her body. The papers then took a different form. There were paper butterflies, cranes, and Pegasus. She sent them flying towards the boy and followed, with Yahiko and Nagata walking behind her. Naruto was interrupted from his thoughts when he saw a butterfly flutter around his face and landed on his nose. He watched it cautiously and was with curiosity and realized it was made out of paper. He heard more flapping of wings and noticed more paper butterflies. He also noticed paper cranes and Pegasi. He watched them in fascination and then almost jumped when he heard a voice. Beautiful, aren't they? Naruto turned and saw Conan walking towards him. With her were Yahiko and Nagato. Conan-chan, the boy stood up and greeted the girl. The girl then went to hug him tightly in greeting. Hello, Naruto-kun, the blue-haired teen said as she released the boy from the hug. Yo, Naruto, how are you doing? Yahiko cheerfully greeted. Hello, Naruto, Nagato said with smiling. Yahiko-san, Nagato Itoko, cousin. As for Japanese term, I'm fine. The three noticed the boy's expression and Conan decided to cheer him up. She will her paper creatures to fly around and land on the boy. Wow, they are beautiful, Conan-chan. Did you make these? Yes, Naruto-kun. They are called origami. It is an art of folding papers and form them into various shapes or forms. Amazing. Naruto squealed. Can you teach me? He pouted, doing the puppy eye jutsus. The girl's heart melted at the boy. Of course, Naruto-kun. I was actually planning on teaching it to you. Wow, really? Conan just smiled at him warmly and nodded. Can you also do foxes? I like foxes. The boy grinned sheepishly with a certain nine-tailed fox smiled at his statement. Yes, I can make most of any form. Cool! The four spent the rest of the morning talking about random topics while at the same time Naruto was taught origami by Conan. Inside the mansion, the Uzumaki Namikaze siblings were relaxing in the living room, talking to each other. They stopped when an elite jonin came inside, kneeling in front of them. Narumi-sama, Minako-sama, Miho-sama, Miho-sama, the village has been put under alert level 1. The Uzukage has ordered you four to stay inside the mansion and guard Naruto-sama. The four eyes widened in surprise. Narumi was the first one to recover and inquired the jonin. What happened? 3 Konoha Anbu were found, lurking around our borders. They are now being held in the interrogation chambers. The Uzukage has ordered the storm to scatter all around the island and look for another stragglers. All of the Jonins are roaming the village. I see, that's troubling news. We will stay here inside and watch over our little brother. Thank you. The Jonin nodded and left. Naruto's siblings went outside to the beach. They found their sibling busy folding papers. When they approached him, they realized Conan was teaching him the art of origami. Naruto heard footsteps and turned to see his siblings. He immediately noticed their grim expressions and lightly tugged on Yahiko's sleeve to call his attention. Yahiko looked at his best friend and saw him silently pointing his head to the four. They silently walked away from Conan and Naruto to talk to his siblings. What is it? Nagata whispered. The village has been put under alert level 1. 3 Konoha Anbu were found lurking around our border. The Uzukage has asked us to watch over Naruto-kun. Narumi replied, I suggest we all go inside the mansion and take Naruto-kun to his room. He will be safer there. This might be a private area, but someone might still see him here. Minako said, agreed. I'll inform Conan of the situation. You guys distract Naruto for now and get him inside. Nagata said. They all nodded and approached the two. Hello, Naruto-kun. What are you doing? Narumi said. Nagato discreetly pulled Conan away and informed her of the situation. Narumi-ne-chan, Conan-chan has taught me origami. Look, I made a fox. Our little brother said as he proudly showed her the work of art. That's beautiful, Naruto-kun. Maybe you could teach us also. Okay. Naruto-kun, it's almost noon. It's getting hot. Why don't we go inside the mansion? Minako suggested. Yeah, I'm also getting hungry. Let us have some lunch, and you can continue your origami later. Ne-chan, I want Ichiraku ramen, but I don't want to go outside. It's okay, Naruto-kun, we will order the ramen for you. Miho offered, while Mio nodded in agreement. The eight of them went back to the mansion while Conan made the paper fly so they wouldn't have to carry them. Naruto requested they have lunch inside his room, and his siblings felt thankful inside. It was just what they wanted for their little brother. Naomi and Minako made several clones and stationed them outside Naruto's room while Miho and Mio went to Ichiraku's. Naruto went back to making more paper foxes while he waited for his siblings to return with the ramen. Uchiha interrogation chambers talk. An interrogator ordered as he slapped a seal on the pale boy's forehead. The same were done to his other two companions who were in a separate room so they wouldn't be able to communicate with each other. Their captive just stared at them, expressionless. Of course, he would not just talk. He was an Anbu after all. He was trained for these situations like this. The interrogators stared at him bewildered. Taicho, why isn't he speaking? One of the interrogators asked. The seal he placed on the boy's forehead was supposed to make their captive talk. I'm sure I wrote the seal correctly. There was no mistake on it. The same thing were happening on the other two rooms. The interrogator was baffled on why their captives would not speak. They decided to wait for their Uzumaki and tried their best to ignore their prisoners as they stared blankly at them, giving them the creeps. Back on Sai's chamber, the door on the room opened and the Uzumaki entered along with the strong head commander and followed by the Uzukage's husband, Uzumaki-sama, the interrogator's spy. We placed the seal on him, but he would not talk. Have you double-checked the seal? Hi, Uzumaki-sama. He just stared back at us expressionless. Wait, I think I know why. Minato said. Let me take a look at him. The young Rutanbu was just listening to the conversation. He couldn't not see the newcomer's face as they were hidden by the shadows. When he heard the man saying he will take a look on him, he waited. His eyes nearly popped from his head when he saw the man. That's the Yondem Hokage. Tosan. Wait, I know. Tosama was dead. He died when he sealed the QB inside a newborn boy, but that man standing in front of me, it's really him. Cannot be mistaken. How is he alive? He thought. Sai? Minato asked while he took a closer look at the boy. Sai, it's really you. Minato-kun, you know him? Kushina asked as she stood beside him. Yes, he was one of the orphans whom I planned adopting back in Konoha before I died. Him and his brother Shin. Minato said as he took another step near the boy and inspected him. He lifted up his chin and ordered Sai to show out his tongue. The boy complied and Minato inspected his tongue. I knew it. The reason why he cannot talk is because of this seal. Minato told the interrogators. Danzo placed it on them from spilling the beans. If he ever get captured, it wouldn't be surprised if he did to all of his root members. Kushina-chan, can you take a look at this? There's more with the said seal, but I couldn't identify it, he said as his wife stepped forward and inspected the seal under the boy's tongue. This is definitely a seal that prevents people from talking, but I am not sure about the additional seal. It could be a backup, but we can still overwrite it. There will be no problems by doing so, the Uzumaki said as she turned to the interrogators. Could you pass me a sealing brush and a bottle of ink? One of them immediately hurried to the table nearly and passed her the brush. The Uzumaki told the boy to keep his tongue out. She was surprised when the boy did not even protest it, but immediately followed her orders. She overwrote the seal on the boy's tongue and carefully tracing the seals. The process took about 10 minutes and she had to be very careful and had to apply a dry seal first in order for the boy not to salivate. When she was done, the boy's tongue glowed red and he let out a gasp. I'm back. I can talk again. I can control myself now. I can actually say what I want to, the pale boy said to himself as he bowed his head. The other 5 people with him stared at him confused. He then let out a cry of relief and raised his head to look at the Uzumaki. Thank you. Thank you. You brought me back, he said while tears of happiness flowed down his cheek. I'm back. I'm really back. They're flowing back at me. My emotions. I can feel them again. I can feel again, he cried in delight. Uzumaki was still confused, but she felt no harm coming from the boy. She turned to the 2 interrogators and ordered them to remove his bindings. The 2 reluctantly complied, but decided to trust their Uzumaki after all. Even if the boy tried to put up a fight, he would not stand a chance against the 3 Storm and the 2 Kage-level shinobis. Sai realized his bindings were being taken off. When he was able to move again, he immediately lunged at Minato. The others were startled and were ready to take him down, but realized he wasn't attacking. Toho-chan, the boy said as he clung to the blond man. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I killed him. They asked me to kill him, and then I killed him. I killed Shin Nisama. I'm sorry they made me do it. I couldn't stop myself. I killed my brother. I'm so sorry. Sai, shh, calm down. Take a seat. Minato requested. Pass me a glass of water, please. Here, Sai. Drink. Calm down, okay? The boy was silent for a few minutes, while he sniffled from time to time again. I'm okay now. Good boy. Can you tell us what happened? Hi. Started during the night the QB attacked. I and Shin Nisama were running for cover since the orphanage was destroyed while the QB was rampaging. Then we saw you and a group of Anbu heading towards a clearing. We decided to help and went after you, but we were stalked by an old man with bandages. The last thing we saw before Nissan and I lost consciousness was you summoning a giant snake. And then everything went black. When I woke up, I had no idea where I was. I was tied to a chair. I asked them where my Nissan was, but they just hit me, so I shut up. And they then put something on my forehead, making me unable to move a muscle. They pulled my tongue out and drew something under it. The next thing I knew was losing consciousness, but I was still awake. It was as if my true self was pulled back in my mind, and another person took over. After that, they let me outside the room and saw all the other orphans. I also saw other children who I knew to have families. There was also Shin. I noticed every one of them had blank expressions as if one on a daze. And then they put us into pairs. I got paired with Shin Nisama. I tried talking to him, but my mouth won't talk. And then Sai stopped as he felt tears on his eyes. He sniffled and tried to stop his crying. They made us kill each other. I tried to stop, but my body would not respond. It was then I realized my body was being controlled. Someone else took over. I had the feeling they did the same to the other children. They too were being controlled. I tried to fight my body and move on my own, but I couldn't. My inner self fell asleep, and when I woke up, I was staring at Nissan's bloody face. I did not understand what was going on. I willed my body to move so I could help him, but I couldn't. And then I noticed my hands too were bloody, and I was holding a kunai. I then realized I was the one who killed it. I killed Shin Nisama. I killed my own brother. I wanted to cry, but tears did not fall down my face. I just cried and wept inside my consciousness. I killed him. I killed my own brother. He shouted as he put his hands on his face and began to cry again. The 5 people listening to him were shocked to hear his tale. Minato and Kushina moved closer and tried to console him. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I killed him. Nisama, I'm so sorry. He whispered to himself as he curled into a ball and continued crying. Kushina's motherly instinct took over and consoled the boy while Minato helped. He was thinking hard. Danzo, you bastard. How dare you use children to your dirty jobs? You will pay for your crimes, and the people you use as puppets will turn their back against you. It took more time before the boy finally calmed down. Sai, please tell us what happened next. We need to know. After this, I promise to let you get some rest. The boy nodded and continued. Hi. After that incident, we were trained. That's what we did. We just trained and trained. 3 years after being taught by them, our batch had graduated ceremony. I was the top of my class and was chosen by the Danzo, to be one of his personal guards. I was teamed with Fu and Tourney, and we did a lot of missions. I was made team captain. My skills and paintings and making them come to life. Fu is a Yamanaka, so he specializes in mind techniques, while Tourney is an Aburamic, so he can use bugs. He also has a kinjutsu in his body that is very lethal. Only he, the host of the lethal bugs, is immune. If another person touches him or gets touched by him, the bugs will spread to that person's body and die. That is why he is heavily clothed. When the interrogators heard of the information, one of them immediately excused himself and hurried to the other room. He prayed that nothing bad had happened to the Aburamis interrogator. When Konoha was attacked by a unknown group, we were not there because we were outside the country on a mission. We came back 2 days after the attack. Everyone was sick and had diarrhea. We also found out about Danzo in coma, so I and my team went out for a mission to look out for someone to heal Danzo. A few days ago, we were somewhere near the border when we noticed Torne's bugs acting strangely. He told us about a small amount of demonic chakra leaking out from this island, so we came here to inspect. The strange chakra emitted vanished when we came here. We were only able to find small traces of it because of the bugs, but slowly it was gone. We looked around the island and found a pathway. We tried to follow it, but we found ourselves surrounded and we were brought here. And then you know the rest. Was there anyone else at the border with you? Said Uzukage. No one. We three were the only people there. We made sure nobody else was present when we found out about the chakra. Does anybody else know you came to the border? No, ma'am. You do not have to worry about other people finding out about the leak. I assume you with that since Tornes bugs were from his kinjutsu, they are able to sense other living beings that are very far, and there was nobody else around the area at that time. We also did some scouting and found that the border we came from was the only possible way and route to this island. I see. Thank you for the information, Sai. We will let you get some rest, the Uzukage said as she bowed to the boy. She believed his story since, of course, they applied a truth seal on him, and she also saw how devastated the boy was about his brother. Thank you. Ano, will you also help my teammates? I know they were like me. They are also being controlled. Of course, you may see them later. We will talk more about you later. What to do with you. Upon hearing this, the boy panicked. Please, no, I already told you it wasn't me. I was being controlled. I don't want to die. The Hozukage smiled and patted him. Relax, we believe your story. You will not be punished. Sai sighed in relief and nodded. Please follow the interrogator and he will lead you to a hotel room to get some rest. Upon hearing your story, you will be treated as a guest here, but you will still be kept an eye on. I understand. Thank you for your kindness. The boy nodded and bowed to the people in front of him. The interrogator then motioned him to follow and left the room. The Hozukage and the Yellow Flash and the Storm Commander left for the other two captives. Uzukage mentioned Naruto finished his lunch and was now happily making more origamis. His siblings joined him and they had a little contest on who can make the most. Conan was impressed on how Naruto quickly learned and got the hang of making origamis. Under just 1 minute, the boy can create 7 to a dozen creatures. Conan-chan, why aren't mine not moving? Naruto asked as he stared at the paper fox. The blue-haired teenager chuckled and made the foxes move. Wow, awesome! The boy squealed. Can you teach me how to make them move? Sure, but you do not know about chakra yet. You haven't started at the academy yet. I'll teach you when you have knowledge about chakra and chakra control. Naruto put but I want to learn now. He did say and used his puppy eyes no jutsu, and Conan almost fainted. Of course, Naruto, she said as if dazed. Naomi and Miho giggled. Damn, kid's good. I guess I'll teach him something about sealing before we leave for our mission. Yahiko thought to himself while smiling at the boy. Maybe we should classify this puppy eyes no jutsu as an S-rank kinjutsu. Nagato chuckled. Minako and Miho were also thinking of the same thing as they watched their little brother in amusement. Conan, Nagato, Yahiko, and Naruto's siblings agreed. They spent the afternoon explaining and teaching him about the basic concepts of chakra and how to use it and how it works. They were surprised at how Naruto easily understood everything and grasped it. After that, Conan explained how she makes the origami move. They were impressed when they watched the boy concentrate and was able to make a paper fox move a bit before sending it crashing on the wall. Wow, Naruto-kun, that was impressive! Narumi praised her little brother, but I lost control. That's alright, Naruto, you need more practice. But your sister is right, that was impressive. You already got it to move at your first try, even when we just explained to you the basics about chakra, Conan said as she ruffled the boy's hair in affection and pride. Everyone cheered for him, feeling proud. Naruto beamed and felt very happy with their praises. He promised them he will train hard and become a great ninja someday. Of course, we believe in you, Naruto-kun. The boy gave them one of his foxy grins and went back to concentrating, making his paper fox move. Conan and her two companions decided to take their leave. They gave him some easy chakra control exercises and promised to come visit him again. The next day, Yahiko promised to teach him basic sealings, while Nagato promised to teach him basic jutsus. Conan promised the boy to teach him folding papers using only his chakra once he got better with control. This made Naruto more eager to train and learn. Just then, Narumi and Minako clones dispelled and layered the original's information, telling them that the alert status has been put back to normal. They informed Mio and Miho of this while they signaled and sighed in relief. His sibling then excused themselves and went to their own rooms. He was now alone in his room and decided that it was time to read the book about the Uzumaki clan. He flipped the book to the second page and as the first page had his name on it, Descendant. We are now going to discover and learn the history of and secrets of our clan. The first thing that you should know is that the Uzumaki clan per- prioritizes family and is very loyal. Whatever happens, we always look at one another. Should one of us require any form of assistance, we do not hesitate and help us as soon as possible. Know that the world is a cruel place. We Uzumakis can only depend on each other. Naruto took what the book said to his heart. As an Uzumaki, he will be loyal to his clan and will prioritize his family first, whatever the case is. He then turned on the next page and proceeded reading. Our clan has a very long history, dating from the War of the Gods. We Uzumakis are the main descendants of the Sage of the Six Paths himself. Over time, the clan have experienced and been through different wars, and we became the symbol of peace. We traveled the worlds and fought wars to keep everything in balance, since our clan had been tasked to do it. If a certain group of our clans disrupted the peace and balance of the world, the Hagoromo clan must be taking action to stop those groups or invaders. About 100 years ago, the War of the Gods and the Hagoromo clan decided to stay in one place and settle on an isolated island that is surrounded by hundreds of huge whirlpools. In order to hide from the world, the Hagoromo clan changed its name to Uzumaki in reference to the whirlpool around the island that we have settled. The Uzumaki clan established its own village, and thus Uchiha was born. I, Mito Uzumaki, was one of the founders of this village. Due to being from the main branch of the Hagoromo clan, I was selected to be its leader and was called the Shodai Uzukage. With the Uzumakis helping each other, we were able to establish Uchiha into a peaceful and thriving community. Uchiha was the very first village that was founded by the clan. The second was Konohagakure, that was founded by the Senju and the Uchiha clans. Both came from the warring areas like the Uzumakis. Other villages soon followed, and the hidden villages were born. Years passed by, and the first war occurred. To the world, it was known as the Great Shinobi War. During the time, shinobi villages fought against one another, the same way shinobi fought 100 years ago. Uchiha became allies with Konohagakure through marriage. I was married to Hashirama Senju, the Shodai Hokage, who was one of the founders of the Konohagakure Nosato. Along with along with Konohagakure, participated in the war. With the combined powers of the Uzumaki, the Senju, and the Uchiha, we were able to win the war. Uchiha decided to lay low and let Konoha take all the glory. Konoha became branded as one of the five great elemental nations along with Kumo, Kiri, Iwa, and Suna. When the second and the third war broke out, the Uzumaki discreetly helped its longtime ally, Konoha. With the help of Uchiha, Konoha became victorious. When my husband Hashirama Senju died, Uchiha's connection to Konoha weakened. Senju Tobirama, Hashirama's younger brother, became the Nandem Hokage and tried to maintain Konoha's alliance with Uchiha strong and firm. Over time, the clan felt how Konoha slowly became distant. When the Nandem Hokage died, Saratobi Hiruzen took the position of Sandaime. Saratobi was the student of the Shodai and the Nandem. Some of my clansmen who fought alongside him during the wars felt his envy, even though Uchiha let Konoha take all the glory. Saratobi could not deny the fact that the Uzumaki clan was far stronger than both Senju and Uchiha clans combined. He wanted to have the power that our clan had, and he was very jealous. The Uzumaki clan was wary of this. With him as the Hokage, Konoha became more distant than the second and the first to Uchiha. Heh, I knew the old monkey always felt resentment to your clan. A voice suddenly spoke and interrupted Naruto from his reading and startled him. What the? Who's there? The boy asked, clearly frightened. Relax, Naruto-kun, it's me, Kurama. Kurama? Alright, the boy said as he relaxed. Wait, you can talk to me even though I'm not in the mindscape? Correct. You see, when we first met, our minds connected and created a mental link. So now we can talk even though you are not inside your mindscape. That's kind of cool. The boy grinned excitedly. Kurama-chan? Hello? Did I say something wrong? Are you angry? Ha 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 ha, that wasn't me. Listen again. Grrr, it's just damage. You're hungry. Ha ha ha. Yeah, you're right. I did not notice this time. I've been reading for so long, and now I'm hungry. You should eat some snacks first before you continue reading. Hey, you're right, the boy said as he hid the book under his pillow and exited the room. He went downstairs and noticed nobody was there. He ignored it and walked to the hallway through the kitchen. He was almost near the kitchen when he heard his friend speak. Through his mind nervously, Naruto-kun, wait, stop walking, huh? He whispered, "Shh, do not make any noise. I sense someone else not welcome. This one's not from the household, nor your relatives. By the way, you can talk to me silently, just speak in your mind. Like this? Can you hear me?" "Yes, good, I hear you, Naruto. Tread carefully. This chakra." She trailed off as she recognized it and started growling angrily. "Kurama-chan, what's wrong?" Grrr. The fox did not respond as it continued to crawl. Before he could ask again, he heard an unfamiliar voice. "At last, I got inside, and nobody else is around." Naruto widened his eyes and felt his heart beat faster. "Now that they aren't here, it is time for me to get you. You are mine now, and nobody's going to save you." Naruto was scared now. He can feel Kurama inside him, seething in rage. "Now time to get that cabinet." Muhahaha. Naruto almost fell to the ground when he heard the mysterious voice laugh. He started to boil in anger, although he still felt scared. The stranger broke into their house and was trying to steal their belongings. Ramen. "At last, you're mine." Naruto was not able to hear that man's last sentence as his and Kurama's emotions combined. Kurama was now sure who the voice belonged to. The boy then charged into the kitchen. "Nobody's stealing his ramen." "Ah!" Naruto screamed at top of his lungs as he charged into the kitchen. He froze when he saw the intruder, who was wearing dark blue robes and an orange mask. "Uchiha! Yeah, Toby has been spotted! Ah, run! Toby runs now!" Everyone inside the mansion heard the scream and recognized Naruto's voice. They all rushed to the boy's aid and stopped when they saw the youngest heir and a masked man, who was halfway slurping a bowl of ramen. Naruto did not notice the household, his siblings and his parents, and some of the other jonins and storm that was now standing behind him. He was too busy glaring at the man to notice the newcomers. "You!" the boy shouted at the and pointed at the masked man. His voice sounded demonic, causing everyone to gasp in shock. "You! It was you! You're that man who attacked Ka-chan! You were that man who tried to kill Narumi-ne-chan!" Everyone, especially Naruto's parents, were surprised to hear this. They of course recognized the masked man, but they have no idea how their youngest son knew of that event since he wasn't even born at that time. "You tried to destroy my family, and for that I'm going to kill you!" The boy screamed as his body became coated with red chakra. His hair became longer and his whisker became wilder. His blue eyes turned red and his irises became slits. His whisker marks became more defined and longer. His nails grew longer and sharper and became claws. "Die, Uchiha!" the boy screamed as he lunged at the man. "Wah! Someone save and help Toby!" the masked man screamed as he dodged the boy while hugging his bowl of ramen. Naruto crashed at the wall but used it as a rebound and lunged at the man, again trying to swipe at the masked man. "This is all a misunderstanding. Toby's a good boy." "Naruto-kun, please stop. He's not a man," Arashi Uzumaki said as he tried to restrain his youngest grandson. The boy tried to escape the former Uzukage's grip but failed. "Naruto-kun!" his mother explained, clearly worried. She rushed to her son and took him from the grandfather's arm. She hugged her son tightly while she said soothing words to calm her enraged son. "Shh, calm down. It's all right. Mommy's here. Calm down," Kushina said as she stroked her son's head. Thankfully, Naruto calmed down and his features returned back to normal. He hugged his mother back while he cried, "Ka-chan! It's him! It's that masked man!" Naruto tried to say between sobs, "Shh, it's all right. Ka-chan's here," she cooed while she glared at the man. "Toby, or whoever you are, I want explanations now," she said, going Uzukage mode. "Yes, we need to know who you really are, where you are from, and what your motives are." Minto agreed while also glaring at the man. Toby gulped and immediately nodded. He said vigorously, "Toby shall explain everything. Toby's not going to lie, because Toby's a good boy." "Wait, Ka-chan. I want to hear his story too," Narumi interrupted. "I'd like to hear it too as well," said Minako. "Hey, don't leave us out. We'd like to hear it too," Miho and Mio chided. "Naruto-kun, you should tell your parents you want to hear about it as well. I need to know everything about this man, although I do not trust him. Ka-chan, I want to hear too." Naruto looked up to his mother while performing the puppy eye no jutsu. "Of course," she said while smiling at the youngest. "Please find Kaede and tell him to wait for me at the office." The Uzukage told the storm that was around. She then dismissed everyone while her father, Arashi, Minato, and her children stayed. "Let's go to my office." 10 minutes later, Uzukage's office. "All right, Toby, tell us your story and leave nothing out," the Uzukage commanded. "Uh-huh. Toby would like you all to hold hands. Toby will show you everything Toby knows. The Uzumaki raised an eyebrow and then glanced at her father, who simply nodded. It's alright. I used the King of Hell on him the first time I met him. Toby has my full confidence. Toby shuddered as he remembered the demon head that Arashi used to interrogate him. Alright, Kushina nodded as she took Naruto's hand. The rest followed, making them a circle. Toby then held out his hand and placed it on the Uzukage's head. Anime style. Flashback no jutsu. Valley of End after Madara and Hashirama's battle. Madara, please don't make me kill you. You can still change. Come back to Konoha. Hashirama pleaded as he looked down on the Uchiha broken form. Never. Did you leave me no choice? Goodbye, Madara. Second Shinobi War. Kakashi, I haven't given you my gift yet. Here, take my Sharingan. Use it to fight the enemies off. Take care of Rin. No. Obito, don't say that. You will live. I can't let you die. Go. This cave will not last long. It will collapse soon. Goodbye, Kakashi. Rin, I have done my duties as a shinobi of the leaf. Now I can die in peace. Obito's teammates watched him sadly as they could not lift the huge slab of rock that pinned the left half of the Uchiha on the ground. Rin did the operation and transplanted Obito's right eye to the Kakashi's right eye. Kakashi and Rin reluctantly left their teammate as the cave began to collapse. Obito closed his eyes and waited for his death to come. He waited and waited. It never came. He opened his eyes and saw a dark and white creature that looked like a plant holding the cave roof, keeping it from collapsing. He then noticed an old man who was trying to remove the rock that was on top of his body. He then surprised when the old man easily destroyed the rock. Carefully dragged him away. The boy tried to feel and move the left side of the body but could not, as it was already crushed. He only felt a huge bolt of pain when he tried to move. Do not move. You will only get hurt more, the old man said. The last thing that he saw before he lost consciousness due to strain caused on his body was a pair of red eyes. Obito woke up feeling heavy yet light at the same time. He tried moving and was surprised to see his left eye. I can feel my whole body again. Am I dead? He thought as he opened his eyes and scanned the surroundings. So he finally awoke. An old voice spoke. Oh, I'm alive. Of course, young one. Wait. You are that man who saved me, correct? I'm glad you remembered immediately, even though you were unconscious for a week. A week? What did you do? What's this? Obito asked as he examined his body. That would be our work, said another voice. The young Uchiha almost snapped his neck when he immediately turned around and saw the plant creature that held the cave earlier. You can talk? What do you mean, we? The plant creature asked itself. Of course, you should be thankful. It was I who supplied the cells that were used to replace your broken other half. The Obito grimaced as he inspected his new half part. It looked like whitish, otherwise it felt fine. What are you? An experiment Lord Madara created us. What do you mean us? You see my other personality here. Look, we're two. I'm the white one, the good one. My other half, the black half, is the evil one. Don't fuck with the kid. You are just evil like me. Pfft, I'm not that evil. Okay, I get it. So, what are you? I already told you. An experiment. Lord Madara created us. Madara? Yes, young one, said the old man. Wait, you do have a Sharingan. You're correct. I do have the Sharingan. You can't be Madara Uchiha, can you? Hey, correct again, young one. But how? You're supposed to be dead. You are the same age as the Shodai Hokage and he's dead. I am. Yes, but that fool spared me after our fight at the Valley of the End. And now look, I'm still alive, and he's dead now. Wow, you're really old. I am, young one, although I must say my time is nearing. I am only able to live this long because of Setsu. Setsu? That's us. Oh, you see, young one, I created Zetsu with my DNA and Hashirama's DNA. That sounds complicated. It does, but never mind that. Now that you are awake, I must begin your training and teach you everything I know before I pass away. You will be my successor, you young one. You will be the one to carry my will. And so Madara Uchiha taught Obito everything. He passed on his will to him, his hatred to Konoha, his hatred to Uchiha and his hatred to the world. He told him of his plans to make the world bow down to the mighty Uchiha clan. Flashback, and Toby removed his mask from Toby removed his hand from Kushina's head and let everyone digest what they have seen. So Obito was alive after all. Minato whispered to himself, and Madara, I didn't know. Grandfather spared him, Arashi said as he just saw the memory for the first time. Now that you have seen that, Toby said, as he slowly put up his right hand and touched his mask, and he removed it, and everyone was stunned when they saw his face. Oh, Obito? Minato gasped. No, it is I, Toby. Toby is a good boy. Do you remember Zetsu? Everyone simply nodded dumbly at him. Because of Zetsu's cell used to create Obito's other half, another personality caused it to develop over time. Like Zetsu, he had a dark and good side. Obito is a bad boy. Toby is a good boy. Toby's other half split from Obito's other half. Obito doesn't know, nor does Zetsu. Toby hid from the shadows and watched everything that bad boy did. Toby watched when the bad boy set the QB to attack Uzumaki and Konohagakure. Wait, so you're saying it was Obito who did it? Yes. You see, Madara passed on everything to Obito. He specifically tasked him to destroy Uchiha and Konohagakure someday. Toby felt sad because Obito did bad things, so Toby decided to go away from Obito. So Obito will be safe from harm if he ever finds our Toby exists. Toby decided to leave after the QB attack on Konoha. Toby traveled the world secretly and became a good boy. Toby helped everyone in need but in secret. When Toby heard about the allied Kumo, Eva and Kiri forces, Toby immediately set off and warned Uzushi Gakure of the danger. Toby was able to arrive in time to inform the former Uzukage. Toby was successful in saving the Uzushi Gakure because Toby is a good boy, he said while clapping at himself excitedly. So that was you. You were the one who gave the warning, Kushina asked. Yes. Toby squealed in excitement. Everyone was silent for a few minutes. Even Kurama, who was listening, she remained silent. Thank you, Toby. We owe Uzushi Gakure's existence to you. No, ma'am. You do not have to thank Toby because Toby is a good boy. And Toby knows the Uzumaki clan is strong. You would still have survived. Yes, we know that, but still, with your help, there were only few casualties, and the damage on the city was very small. Toby appreciates your acknowledgements. Toby is a good boy. Everyone smiled when he said that. Hey, yes you are, Kurama chuckled through Naruto's mind. Poor guy, he must have hit his head hard by something. Why do you talk like that? Naruto suddenly asked. Toby talks like this. Yes, because Toby is a good boy. Kurama-chan asked if you hit your head on something. Naruto muttered. Everyone raised their eyebrows, wondering who Kurama was. Hehe, no, Toby did not hit his head. You see, Toby is childish, while Obito is mature. Oh, anyway, I'm sorry for attacking you earlier. Everyone smiled when they heard this, especially Kushina, who was happy that her son knew how to apologize to others. Forgive me as well for attacking you, Toby. I thought you were Obito. Minato apologized. Pardon me. As well, I did not treat you good, the Uzukage said. It's alright, Toby understands, because Toby is the good boy. He cheered heavily. Just then, Naruto dropped the ground unconscious, causing everyone to jump in panic. Even Kurama freaked out in his kid. Naruto-kun! His family shouted as they rushed to him. As a growl was heard. My baby! Kushina said as she hugged her son. What's happening? Another growl was heard. Ka-san, I'm starving, Naruto cried out. I'm so weak, I need ramen. Ugh, everyone sighed in relief, and while some laughed, Toby offered the boy his bowl of ramen and fed him. The boy started to regain consciousness as he ate a spoonful of ramen. Come now, everyone, let's go back to the mansion and have dinner. Toby, please join us, Kushina said as she released the privacy seals she placed on the office. They marched back to the office so Naruto could finally have his meal. Kushina and Minato decided to ask Naruto later about who Kurama and how did he know about Narumi's near-death experience. As this is where I'm going to be leaving this part of, guys. I hope you liked this one, and if you do, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. And this is Apollo Uchiha, and I'm signing out. Peace.